Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and welcome back to my weekly dose of inspiration, empowerment, and real talk. As you know, I'm always trying to bring you something with a lot of value. And today I want to speak to that person who's struggling to let go of shame, to that person who lies in bed and at night thinks that they've done really bad mistakes. The one who feels totally stuck, not because you can't move forward, but because you don't think you deserve to do it. And if that's you, I see you. And today we are going to talk through it. Letting go of past mistakes and shame is tough, isn't it? Because shame doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers very quietly and it actually wraps around you slowly until you start to think the choices you made are who you are. And that's the worst thing you've done. And that is not really the truth about you. But here's what I want you to know. What you did is not who you are. And let me say that again. What you did is not who you are. We all messed up and we all make choices that we regret. Sometimes it's out of fear. Sometimes it's out of pain. Sometimes it's simply because we didn't know better at the time. And doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't. Nice and warm in here. It actually makes you human. You see, guilt says, I did something bad. But shame says, I am bad. And that inner dialogue that you have, that same driven story, that's what we need to challenge. And that's where the healing actually is going to begin. Try saying this with me. Yes, I made some choices that hurt me and hurt others. And I am learning. I'm growing. That doesn't define all of me. Say it very loud and clear, if you can. Or actually whisper it under your breath, but say it. Because when we speak the truth, even when it's softly, it begins to break the lies, shame that we're actually building in our minds. Now, let's talk about compassion. And not just the kind that you give to other people, but probably the one that you need for yourself. I'm actually talking about compassion for you because here's the truth. Healing doesn't come from punishing yourself. It doesn't. It comes from understanding yourself, from your accountability, yes, but also from your kindness. Let me ask you this. Is your best friend made the same mistake you did? What would you say to her? Would you call her names? Would you drag her through the mat? You probably won't. So you probably will say, it's okay. You're not a bad person. You just messed up. Let's figure it out together. So why is it so hard to offer the same grace to yourself? Tell me. A lot of people hold into shame because they feel like they should. And if I let go, doesn't that mean I'm letting myself off too easy? No. Letting go doesn't mean you're saying it didn't matter. It means that you are ready to grow beyond it. And you know what's the best apology? The best redemption is living differently. Choosing much better. Choosing you. Loving yourself enough to keep punishing yourself over and over again. That's what transformation really looks like. And it's not about becoming somebody else. It's about becoming more of you. The you that isn't stuck in shame. The you that can hold her past and still walk forward with love and power. Now, I want to ask you something. Here it is a particular story that still stings. Something you did. Where is it? Or said, or it didn't go, or you didn't do. Still makes your chest feel a little bit heavier. Well, let's bring it to that surface for a moment and think about what version of you made that choice. Were you hurting? Or were you scared? Were you lying, or were you trying to feel seen or safe or loved? Hold that person very tight. See it. Tell that person it's totally okay to grow, that she doesn't have to carry the pain anymore. Letting go isn't a one-time decision, It is a process, a practice, a daily invitation to come back to love, your love. So here's something that I want you to try this week. Each time that an old story is creeping into you, I want you to say, that's an old version of me. And that old version of me taught me something, but that person is not here today. Write it on a sticky note, put it in your mirror, and say it every single morning if you need to. Because the woman or the man that you are, you're becoming now very powerful. You're wise. You're allowed to be free. And I want you to thank yourself for this, for taking the time to be in my space, to actually realize that you shouldn't be thinking you're a problem. This was a big one, right? And if I actually stirred only a little bit, or maybe stirred a lot, it means that the healing is happening. Because you're not your past. You are not your shame. You're so much more. And I'm very proud of you for showing up, for listening, for feeling, for being open to let go. And if this episode moved you, or if you got a story of your own, drop me a message. I'd love to hear it. And until next time, stay soft, stay strong, and keep moving forward. You got this.